Hey, what's the crack? How you getting on? How's it going? You're all very welcome to episode 75 of Bookshot for Friday the 14th of September 2018. A little later than usual, but the morning was kind of up to 90. The dog is currently getting her haircut. Just an update there for everybody who was wondering. Nobody was fucking wondering. It's the handiest job ever. Your man calls around with a van, parks up in your front yard, cuts the dog's hair. Mighty fucking job. No traipsing anywhere for any bullshit like that. How are you keeping, lads? It's Friday. Hitting the fucking weekend. Or you might be listening to this next week. Who knows? Good times. Fucking mental week. Jesus Christ almighty. Some fun gigs though, which I'll talk to you next week on the Owl Ramble Pod about them. This gig's coming up this Saturday night. Tomorrow night. I'll be at Monkstown Rugby Club, which I think is in kind of Ballsbridge, Sydney Parade, how's it going kind of district. It's a public gig. You can buy tickets anywhere. If you go to Monkstown RFC, I think you can buy the tickets there if you fancy popping along. It should be good crack. It will be good, and actually I have a feeling it's going to be good crack. Ian, the lad, is organised. I like Ian. So it's always good when you're working with sound people, you know what I mean? It takes the weirdness out. And I find I have a better gig when the sound people are kind of running it. They just, they've no input, really. Like Ian would be sound, shake hands at the door, there's the mic, Tom, go do it. I like that where there isn't loads of chit chat and, I actually like hanging around with comedians and stuff, but it's just sometimes you have to, when people don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's the tough one. And if they don't know what they're doing, but they still kind of pretend like they know what they're doing. I'm talking pure shite here anyway. I should be getting on with it. Anyway, also, all of next week, 3 days next week, if you are at the Ploughing Championship, which I'm sure there's definitely some of my listeners are going to be going to the Ploughing Championship. And if you are, pop on over to, Christ Almighty. I don't know, I do know it. It's, wait till you hear this. How the fuck am I remembering this? It's Block 4, Row 38, Stand 738. I remember that. How the fuck? I have no idea. I can barely remember my date of birth. But for some reason I remember that. I'll be at the bus there in one. It's going to be a good bit of crack. They're not bringing me in to talk the straight normal stuff. I'll just be in there shooting the shit, having the crack. Also, we'll be encouraging people to come up and tell a story on the big red chair. Yeah. And essentially, you're going to win. You're going to get free shit for doing that anyway. But the best story wins an iPad. How's that? For fucking... How do you like them apples, as the fella says? So that's next week. And then Saturday the 22nd... Jesus Christ, my brain is flying today. I don't know what was in that tea. I don't have these dates written down. Saturday the 22nd, I'm going to be in Trebolgan, which is in East Cork, not far from Middleton. It's kind of I think it's like a Butland-style place, I think. I was there when I was about 5. And I'm doing a gig there. Yeah, doing a gig there on the 22nd. I remember the 22nd because I would tell a lie. I do remember. It's my birthday on the 21st, next Friday. So I remember the 22nd. I will be there for any East Cork people. Pop along. I'm guessing there'll be holiday makers and stuff there. There might be I don't know how many holiday makers are still going to be there in September. But they seem to be keen to do comedy. So I'll be more than fucking happy to go along and take their money. Actually, no, I'm kind of looking forward. I like these weird gigs too. Like last night's gig was a weird one. In that it was fucking glorious. It was in Teeling's whiskey distillery. No free whiskey. Couple of free beers, but no free whiskey, which is grand. I prefer to drink nice whiskey at home. I wouldn't drink his whiskey anyway before I go on stage. I'd be fucking slaughtered. I can't drink for shit anymore. And also, thank you very much, Patreon people. I have locked in a very big guest. Well, everybody's a big guest. Fucking everybody's got their own interesting story. But a well-known guest is going to be in a couple of weeks. I'm recording over in Galway with him. And that should be a fun one. But thanks to the Patreon people, I now have very good gear. Better gear to bring to that. Well, it should be coming in the next... Jesus. Hope it doesn't come, because we're going away for 3 days. Did I tell you that? We're going on holidays. 3 days we're breaking away. We're going to the fanciest fucking hotel I've ever seen in my life. It was in Casino Royale. Yeah. We're going to that hotel somewhere in Europe. I'm not fully sure where. 3 days of no phone, no fucking nothing. I'll probably take some fucking Instagram videos just for the crack. Big fucking scummy head and me walking around with all these posh European dignitaries. Fuck 'em. But thank you very much to Patreon people. If you haven't signed up to Patreon, just jump on it. Jump on it, throw us a couple of quid. It's not to me, it's to the fucking podcast. If you do enjoy the podcast and it is a thing that you're invested in on a weekly basis and you're getting it in your ear holes for nothing. Because I want to jump onto other platforms and actually spread the word, because you do have to pay hosting fees and whatnot and website shit and all that stuff. If you'd buy a man a pint, do you know what I mean? If you'd buy a fella a pint, I had people last night offering me pints left, right and centre, even though, well, it was bottles of beer and cocktails and stuff. I was like, no, go to my Patreon. No, I didn't. I should actually do that, have cards with my Patreon, fucking my address on it, go, thank you very much for that offer of a pint. Would you go home and actually pay that pint worth into this? And it helps look, it's like anything. The more money you can throw at anything, the bigger and better it's going to get. And that's what the Patreon is all about. Fair play. I just see somebody ordered stickers for somebody, a person stuck them out. 3 stickers on their laptop. 3 stickers on their laptop. In America. Somebody in California sent me a picture of it. No idea who you are, but thank you very much. Cool. Spread the word. Good on you. The news of Caveman seems to have gone very well. I talked about that in the Ramble Pod, the new whatchamacallit I'm going to be in. The new play I'm going to be in. As far as people are messaging me asking me where it's going to be, I haven't a fucking clue. It's going to be everywhere as far as I know. Like I said, Kilkenny and whatchamacallit, I don't want to ask just yet, because what's the point in asking when there'll be updates coming in all the time. So in the next few weeks, we'll have more of a handle on where it's going to be. As far as for now, I can definitely say it's definitely going to be in Galway, and it's definitely going to be in Kilkenny. Other than that, I haven't a fucking clue, and I'm not asking the boss man just yet. There's no point. We'll wait and we'll see what comes in, and the dates then, I'll put them on my website, and obviously there'll be a website for Caveman and all the rest of it, and all the, all the other things and all the rest of it. We might see if we can do promo stuff for Patreon listeners as well. See if we can get, a few quid off a ticket. We'll see if we can do that. I don't know. I don't get the call to fucking call it in this yoke. Anyway. Oh, yeah, thank you very much for some gas fucking pictures coming in. People just on the sauce. A couple of people were on the sauce last night. No, they sent me pictures. And I will repost them over the weekend on Instagram and Chatty Snaps. So keep them coming. Keep them coming. Right, moving swiftly along into today's episode. We've recorded... I was performing last night with Eric Lawler, Maurice Gone, and... Fucking hell, Jesus Christ, my brain just went fucking blank. Steve Cummins. Why the fuck couldn't I remember that? But Stephen Mullan, today's guest, popped in beforehand, and I was hoping to find a little quiet spot. There are no quiet spots in the whole fucking of Teelings. So I apologise, it's a bit noisy in the background, but you can hear us no bother, like, you know what I mean? And it's not echoey or anything, like, because, which reminds me I must do another podcast if we ever get time with Gordo Rochford of Those Conspiracy Guys, because that one we did in the cafe was very noisy. Also, same one with John Cleary, very noisy. But, I don't know, I just didn't have time. I was scheduled in, and there just wasn't fucking time to meet anywhere else. Turns out there's no quiet spots. You'll hear this in the beginning of it, we're downstairs, it's very noisy. And I'd been asked, it was like nobody could answer me. It was like, yes, I'll have to ask somebody about that. And then 3 more people go, yeah, I don't know. It was all like they'd just been hired in that day. They're nice people. But then this very nice lady comes over, which you'll hear in the first 2 minutes. She comes over and goes, hi guys. So she brought us upstairs, which is into kind of a booth area by where the gig was going on. And again, it's a bit on the noisy side, but not annoyingly noisy. You know what I mean? You can tell we're away from it. It's just in the background, so you can hear us a lot more clearer. As far as the gig goes, I'll tell you all about it next week. It was fucking smashing. That's all you need to know for now. Stephen Mullan is today's guest, as I said, and he's got a very interesting story. Unbelievably interesting story. Like, his new show, Son of a Preacher Man, basically is true. His outlad was a fucking, essentially, Baptist / born-again Christian, and his mother's Argentinian, and he was... But I'll leave it for the podcast. Have a listen. He has a show in the Workman's Club next week, starting Monday, 8 o'clock. And a couple of shows have sold out, so, I mean, it's like, you'll hear by it. If this doesn't... Like, I'm going. I want to hear the full story of this. Genuinely, I want to hear the full story of... He's got a fucking... Like, I didn't want to delve too much because I didn't want to, give away too much of the show. But he's got a fucking brilliant story. So all of next week he's going to be in the Workman's Club from 8 o'clock. So that's the 17th to the 22nd down on the Quays. Do get along. I'll put a link in the description of this for tickets and all the rest of it. You're going to enjoy this one. Like I said, please excuse the racket in the background, but you kind of, you know what, this is what you can do with podcasting. People love just listening in on conversations, and that's essentially what it is, a very, very enjoyable, fun conversation. So please give it up for the fantastic Stephen Mullan. Nicer environment than usual, but fuck it. Ambience, Stephen.
Casa de Whiskey Ambience.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, you can't complain, we're in a fucking distillery right now. But nobody's offered us any whiskey. I just know one pouring some sort of hooch over there, I don't know what the
Deliveroo has just come in. Jesus,
all
there's
right.
a party upstairs, lads.
See, this is what, I guarantee you now, I haven't seen what's gone upstairs, but there's a load of lads, and you know for a fact English isn't their first language at all.
Oh,
yeah, no.
Which is great for stand-up
Oh,
comedy.
great. It's perfect, like, perfect. You see, this now would be a yoke, I'd say, where visiting people, they go, you know, it'd be a great idea to send them over to the comedy there. Great. Yeah.
They love the Irish humour. I had that situation myself once in a hostel in London, and somebody thought it was a great idea to put on this comedy night in a hostel in London, and yeah, shit you not, literally not a word of English, like, not a word of it. Fairly embarrassing. Front row was French.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And I was like trying to get references to for them to kind of relate. And I was like, Andy Murray? No, nothing.
No,
number one tennis player in the world? No.
But that'd be the French for you. This is the thing, like, especially the French. They couldn't give one fuck about anything that isn't happening in France.
Yeah.
And it was like, because I was talking to a fella now, well up and well in the rugby world, and I was asking him, you know, what is the likes of Paddy Jackson and your man Stuart Holding going to do now?
Yeah.
Because they can't play in Ireland or England.
Yeah.
You know, their names have been ruined, like. And he says, oh, they play in France. That's hardly, like. He goes, Tom, you could fucking shoot somebody in the face in your own country, and the French wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give one shit.
Yeah.
You could quite literally shoot a man.
Jesus.
And they go, grand job, yeah. Can you play? Can you play rugby? Yeah, they don't give a bollocks.
No.
Anyway, proper introduction. Stephen Mullan, how are you keeping?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming
Pleasure
on.
to be here.
Meeting in an odd scenario, like we're like a couple of doggers. We didn't really know how to approach each other inside here. And
Now, fun fact about this place is I actually, if you go inside there, there's a 70-foot wall that says Spirit of Dublin on it. I painted that.
you painted on
I painted the Spirit of Dublin.
Did
with
you?
actual words. Yeah.
Is that, do you,
I said I'd keep that until the recording started.
what's the crack with? Is that? Do you,
Hi, how are you?
You're working events tonight, are you?
yes. Yeah.
I'm Karen.
So that was that's what's known as real rogue fucking recording that shit, isn't it? To anybody who's, I'll probably explain. No, I won't explain this at all. But this is we got moved up. Well, we didn't. I asked to be moved upstairs. I hope it's a little fucking quieter. It is a bit better.
It's
isn't
romantic, if anything else.
Do you know what? I really want to start holding hands with you
Yeah.
now. We're sitting in this portal window upstairs in Teeling's whiskey, and you. So they didn't pay you to do any of the.
No, so these
You were
small
charging a
writing
fortune,
bits-
obviously. You
Yeah, but the
fuckers.
other lad was I
Oh.
got paid something like cash in hand, $2,000 for like 2 days work. But
Stop.
It was like but it was like it was cash in hand.
But don't tell anybody how
I was-
dangerous
yeah,
this is.
And don't name names, sorry. But it was like don't tell anyone how dangerous it is. And what was it as well? It was like it was 2 days work, but it was literally we were working most of that 48 hours. Like there was no stopping. Like,
Right.
through the night, like,
So
was-
it probably
was
shaved
really
off maybe a year off your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, there's one, like, if they let us in later on, they wanted the beams at the top of the ceiling, they wanted the Teeling's logo spray painted on the apex, and that was grand. We could get a little bit of scaffolding down, but then there's a massive 70-foot drop
right.
down, and he's like, yeah, just build the scaffolding up there. I was building the scaffolding on my own, trying to get up the thing. The whole thing's wobbling, and I'm literally sweating with fucking fear. And he's like, no, that's too dangerous. Get down. I couldn't get down. I'm carrying platforms on my fucking shoulder.
Now you know how Michelangelo felt.
Yeah, I think the other lad was Michelangelo. He was pointing.
Yeah,
Get that
yeah.
up there so I can
Fucking
paint.
right.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
owns this joint then?
It's brothers, isn't it? Stephen Teeling and something else.
Oh, there is actually a Teeling, isn't there?
Yeah. So there's a father who used to be, he was a distiller, and still does it up in Dundalk somewhere.
Right.
And there's a distillery up there that they've done loads of different brands of whiskey, and then they were doing so the whiskey that you now get in the bottle isn't from here; it's from the Dundalk one.
Oh,
so they've been distilling that whiskey for quite a while. And the stuff that they're brewing here is mainly white label, but in the next couple of years we'll turn over into Teeling's whiskey once it's mature enough and all that kind of
So
stuff.
what, they're probably buying it off Jameson or somebody like that? Or?
They're distilling their own stuff in another
right.
distillery, and they've been doing that for years. Yeah. So there is 2 Teeling's butters. It's not even that old here. It's like
not so much.
4 or 5 years
I can
old.
still smell paint in
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
I can still
yeah.
smell you in here.
Yeah.
But so tell me this: I can't remember where we met. Probably in a Dublin comedy club of sorts. It wasn't down in Cork, was it?
I remember chatting to you. No, it wasn't in Cork. Jeez, I don't remember, Tom. I remember we met and we had a chat in Chaplin's anyway one night. But we'd met before that, and I can't remember where that was.
Yeah, you're spot on.
I can't remember where that was.
We found out we had a mutual friend in your cousin.
My cousin, yeah. And you and him work together. You know, like you're up there. His heroes in life, like.
Really?
He's not even joking, yeah. He won't shut up going on about you, to be honest with you, Tom. I'm like, he's not that fucking good, right?
He's alright. He's
Yeah.
okay.
He's fucking
okay.
like, yeah, sure, didn't he wrote you into it in one of his plays, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, what more do you want, Tom?
Yeah, right enough, actually, yeah. I wouldn't mind a tattoo. That's all I'm saying. Just a tattoo. Trev, if you're listening, a tattoo.
Buckshot tattoo,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so my cousin Trevor works for a big production company
in Scotland,
that tour pantomimes and plays and all that kind of stuff in the UK and Ireland, and he's a big Tom Mahoney fan.
Is there any correlation, like, or is it total fluke that you both kind of ended up in the stage world? I mean, did you hang out with growing up?
Not really, because I grew up mainly in Cork and he was in Dublin. He actually was the first in, so of that side of the family there's 23 of us, 23 cousins, and he was the only one that most of us were doing musical type stuff. A big music family, so all of our parents would play guitar. And
right.
I say music, like a couple of bands here and there and stuff, but like generally when the family got together, there's a few sing songs and rebel songs and all that kind of crack.
Cool.
And Trev's mad into that himself.
Oh, jeez, he's mad.
Stuff, yeah. So he was in Fair City when he was like as a teenage actor. Yeah. So he was the first. He was the first in the family to do any of that kind of stuff, and I kind of fell into it in my mid-20s, to be honest with you. So he'd done a lot more than I had. He went and he did a bit of training. He went and he studied in.
Could they drag
Jesus
bigger
Christ.
fucking tables around here?
They're dragging the barrels around.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. There's about 10 of them. Like, there's only about fucking 100 seats. There isn't even 100 seats. There's 50 seats put out.
It's a big room, Tom. It's a big room.
Do you know what it is? It's probably all unionised now. Every chair needs to be lifted correctly, brought in correctly by 4 people.
By distillers.
Yeah. So skipping ahead, when we met, like, how did you end up getting into stand-up? Had you been? Was it the UK?
I started in London. Yeah,
right.
Doing stand-up. I done a bit of acting here and kind of went to London to pursue that, and it was I don't know, but kind of it's fucking tough for a start. And
Jesus,
There's a few actors in London.
There's a few there, yeah.
And
they're all working in restaurants.
Yeah, like myself. That's what I was doing, and. I suppose I didn't have the heart to keep going at it. I actually got really stuck into one restaurant. I ended up chefing in there and all that kind of crap.
Ah, there's Mark Stanley. How
are
are
you
you?
Mark? Hey, Stephen. Nice to meet you.
How you doing, brother? How are you?
I sent you my barbecue photos, so you could write back on Mark. The cardboard will go on fire.
I saw Mark and I cried. I weeped. Your barbecue photographs were so terrible. It was one of the saddest things I've ever seen.
That's exactly.
Were those genuine? You didn't just rob those off Pinterest somewhere? Oh, Jesus Christ. Is there any drink going, Mark?
Not right now, but as soon as they kick it off, I'll get it.
Beautiful. Fantastic stuff. This promoter, Mark, you joined the podcast actually by accident there. You did.
Oh.
We're recording a podcast, myself and Stephen.
What are you involved in, Stephen?
What am I involved in? Stand-up.
Oh, stand-up as well.
Yeah,
his new show coming up in the Dublin Fringe. We're
Fringe.
skipping to the end of the podcast really there now, really.
Research everything about you.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Every image and thing written about you.
Absolutely.
He will creepishly know everything about you.
That show, Tommy, when you posted with the... With the Baroness, obviously.
Well, they asked her to be in the poster, but she's not going to be in the show. It's a one-man...
I was going, look at them, married
Power couple.
That's great, Tom.
Cheers, Mark.
Oh, have you started rehearsals yet?
No, it won't start till the middle of next year, really. Yeah.
Cool. Talk about it.
Cheers, man.
Panto again?
No, this is the most bizarre podcast I've ever done. I mean, it's tough sometimes to keep it in line, but this is brilliantly weird. I love it. This is going to be a special one.
Yeah.
Essentially, I know I through that same production company, I landed a one-man play.
Oh, good man.
It's going to tour Ireland latter of next year.
and a good chunk of 2020.
Good man.
So it's
Did Trevor write that for you as well?
No. This is I don't know. This has been a long. This is 20 years on the go. This play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This play is it's called Defending the Caveman, and it's Olivier Award winning and everything.
Right. Okay.
I know. Like typically, my name and Olivier Award winning wouldn't go together.
Yes.
But
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough. Thank you. But it's what it is the show is called Defending the Caveman, Steve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
There weren't too many faces they could go to in the stand-up world like that would kind of fit the bill, like, you know.
Yeah.
But
Jeez, I must check that play out now.
yeah, it's still, I don't know, it still runs in Vegas.
Right.
And it's the longest running solo play in Broadway history.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, so it's done the fucking rounds, and now they want to take it around Ireland. So, and it suits the stand-up.
Yeah.
The play itself suits the stand-up more because there'll be a bit of tune because there's a bit of crowd interaction and stuff.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want something going sideways on you totally if you were just purely an actor.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like, where are my lines?
Yeah.
Good God.
But you you've an interesting tale. Like I was like, so you lived in the UK.
I lived in the UK.
So
I was chefing.
You grew up first in
Yeah.
Youghal.
No. I was born in Tipperary, actually. I was born in Clonmel.
Jeez, I knew there was a good.
That's the connection there now.
Good hint coming up.
I was born in the St. Joseph's Hospital in
Same as
Clonmel.
myself.
Yeah,
Same
good
as
man.
myself.
And then grew up in Cork City, Middleton, East Cork, and then Dublin when I was 14.
Oh, it was Middleton. I thought it was Youghal for some
Middleton,
reason.
yeah. So yeah, and a bit all over the place, the acting, and then I ended up in London. Started a bit of acting in Dublin, mid-20s, after I'd been a carpenter for a few years and worked with a charity for a couple of years. Then moved to London. Then got a few acting gigs here. Started off with Drew Theatre Company. I got lucky. Got a big gig with them. And then I did a few bits and pieces of TV and film, and then went off to London. And acting was just fucking... It's fucking exhausting. And I wasn't into it. I wasn't quite satisfied with it. I kind of fall into it. I got unlucky with agents and all that kind of crack. But, that's half the battle. Like, there's not even none of the battle to be honest.
None of the battle at all. It's not.
And the other side of the business, I just couldn't stand. And actually, the first idea when stand-up came to me was I was doing. This guy was creating a role for me in a film, and he wanted as the backdrop for the character for him to be an aspiring stand-up comedian.
No way.
Shit, yeah. So he wanted me to go and do open mic nights and just film me and just watch me bomb and all that. I couldn't think of anything scarier to fucking do. But that kind of planted a seed.
Okay,
and when I was in London, my mother turned 60, and I came back for the 60th. Big, massive room, and I wrote this funny letter to my mother. And I remember at one point my uncle was wiping tears from his eyes, so I was just doing stupid impersonations over and all this.
Brilliant.
And that was it. I just remember going, that's a fucking good feeling, and started on the open mic in London, and died on my hole for quite a while. It's fucking rough over there. But I think, in hindsight now, having come back to Ireland, it served me well because it's tough over there.
Yeah.
If you can stick at it over there, and if you get any kind of progression in London, you fucking earned it, man. The rooms are rough. Open mic in London is rough, man.
It's not like I often find it's not the people so much, the audience. Like, because it can sometimes be a bit indifferent because they're just like, whatever. Yeah. Because there's so many things to entertain people. Yeah. Like,
man, you've got the West End, and you've got the Premiership football teams, and
it's just the overload of entertainment is. So for them to have chosen to come, they're even still. But like, I've gotten on grand. But what I found is. Like everywhere, with the oddity of promoters and... Oh, stop. You're in there with a bunch of other comedians, and God bless them, but they're all so neurotic, and they really are buying into this thing, and I'm standing there with... Like, I was there before... I was there last year, around this time... November last year, and I was there for a week. And I was there to promote a show that I was doing. I put on a one-man show in Soho, small Soho theatre. And I remember... I was doing these what we call exit flyer. And there's comedians there, like, and you're going, lads, what world do you think this is like? Yeah. Like, I walked into this one particular one, and I won't say what it was, but your man that owns it or runs the night was showing this female comedian how to grab the mic and introduce people on stage. Oh. And I thought, because I was right early now, I thought, this is funny, they're being ironic, that you have to overthink it. Yeah. He fucking wasn't. Yeah. He would come on sideways, kind of grab the mic and go, show's kicking off in 5 minutes, guys. Yeah. And then he had this he had this fucking thing just before the show where he would flick the lights and ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. And he goes, so you got to get the ba-dum, ba-dums right. And I was looking at this. At this stage, I realised this is fucking real.
Yeah.
Going, okay, lads, you have knocked all the crack out of comedy.
Well, that's a big problem in London in particular, because I don't think you'd say the same in the north of England. But there's zero crack.
No.
Zero crack in London.
No
none
crack.
At all.
Where's the crack?
No, there's none. Honestly, they take themselves very seriously, and it's a fucking brutal city. If you survive London, do you know what I mean? If you're doing all right there in whatever you're doing, not even comedy, like even in the restaurant world that I was in for years, like it's fucking cutthroat, it's brutal. No one gives a shit who you are. You get shit wages, but you work in the best restaurant, and it's all about ego, and it's all about what you're perceived to be like, and all that. Kind
a very
of stuff.
un-Irish thing.
Very and taking the piss out of yourself or taking the piss out of other people is like frowned upon. It's like it's a little bit. It's beneath them to do that. It's like, oh, God, Paddy, oh dear.
But it's like a country away from its own country, because you never get that in Liverpool or
Not
Manchester. You know what I mean? Like,
no way.
Because they're
different countries, literally
different countries.
Ah,
like,
for sure.
like, London could secede from the Union and just do its own thing. Like, because it's not at the same races at all. Like, you know.
No. And it's very, very. You're dealing like a Londoner isn't necessarily an English person either.
No.
You know, they're people who've come there to be the best at what they can do, and they're there to get whatever it is, and they don't give a fuck about anything.
How long did you last?
I was there for how long was I there for before I came back? So I was there for a couple of years before I started doing stand up there. So I was there doing stand up probably about a year and a half before I impregnated somebody.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have a child.
I do, yeah.
What age is your child?
She's now, actually, shit, I forgot to mark that, but on September the 11th, she was a year and a month old.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
Yeah. So she's flying it. But I think it was a little...
Wow, you tied in her birthday and flying it all into
the
sentences. My God,
thanks, Tom.
You're always on, man. You're always on. Huh?
Yeah. So, yeah, we had a blast. No, stop it.
Brought the house down.
Hey. So yeah, no, it's a. So we got, but it was very last minute. We were like, my other half, she's from Portugal, so we just moved in together. We weren't going out very long when we got the brilliant surprise. Now we're all happy now, but it was definitely a bit of a surprise. We're going out a few months when we got pregnant. Like, so, there was more planning went into Brexit, lads, right? So,
but yeah, how do you take that one on the chin? You're going, are you fucking joking me? Like, was there that moment?
For sure. A waiter. I was a fucking waiter in London, and I'm going to have a fucking baby. And I'm literally... So I'd started... When we found out we were pregnant, I had started stand-up, about 9 months previously, funnily enough, pregnancy previously. So
I've heard
I wasn't
that
doing
it does bring on your virality, actually, on testosterone levels.
Oh, yeah. Start telling jokes, and you're like, oh, I'm fertile. Although I have to say, I've been people like Chris Kent and a few other guys that are, starting stand up, or Chris is doing it a long time now, but like juggling being a stand up and being a father, kind of a thing. There's quite a few lads over in London are in the same kind of boat. I was down with Christopher O'Leary actually down in Collins and Cork. He's got a 6-month-old as well, and so I'm not the only one, which is a kind of a nice thing. You can bounce off each other about certain things.
Of course, and on top of that, I mean, it's all that if you have an understanding partner too, but...
Yeah, I think she prefers to have me out, to be honest with you.
But you know what, there's a lot to be said for it too, because we have a fantastic relationship. We got married there last year, and she only sees me 2 nights a week.
Wow.
And it's great. Yeah. But we'll see each other in the morning, we'll see each other in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be up each other's whole night and day, like, you know what I mean? So it's I think it's healthy to stay the fuck out.
I think so, yeah. I think we're both going to be like working part-time as well, which means I'm still doing day work at the moment, so part-time day work at the moment. She does part-time day work, do you know what I mean? So the other one takes the kid, and then I'm off in the night time. So it actually balances out very nicely.
You have to too, because the price of fucking childcare, I can't wrap my head around it at all. You would mind a herd of cattle cheaper than fucking one child. I can't get... I wouldn't
hire a farmer though to look after my kid though.
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
Come back and it's 2 years tagged with plastic fucking earrings.
Sprayed on the side of it. So that's it was a last minute decision to come back, to be honest with you.
Fair play.
And we were 7 months pregnant.
And you moved? Did you come straight back to Dublin, or did
we had the baby in Portugal, so we moved to Portugal for the summer. Inês wanted to have the baby over there. Great crack. And then we moved back here. So she's adjusting to Ireland. So we're actually back a year now next month. I'm back a year next month, and she's getting on well, man. She seems to be adjusting well enough.
But the Portuguese are kind of a sound crowd anyway.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. They're not quite as wired, I don't think, as the Spanish.
No.
As I found anyway,
Definitely,
they seem to be a bit more
more laid back.
Yeah.
Very grounded people, actually. I've found that even being over there, they're very grounded.
I worked with a few of them before, and they were all hardy fuckers. Like we were golf course construction.
All right.
And a lot of these lads were top notch at it.
Yeah.
But soundest skins you ever met. Like,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
boys at the barbecue.
Yeah, no egos, like.
No.
Yeah, some boys the barbecue.
They were like,
that's
Jesus
true.
Christ, like, but they were, do you know, and they'd work like fuck too.
Yeah,
like, but aside from that, they were just, I got on powerful with them.
Yeah.
But they loved it here. Like,
Yeah.
They loved the fucking crap.
Yeah, she seems to be enjoying it. She wasn't a fan of London, to be fair to her, and she seems to get on very well here. And I think sometimes we give out a lot about Ireland quite a bit, but actually moving back, especially having a kid, it's a great place.
Asha, where else would you raise a child in all
not
fairness?
in fucking London.
No, for fuck's sake, unless you wanted to be poor neurotic, poor bastard. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you could see like the nervousness in people's eyes in London when they come away from London.
Yeah.
It's like, oh Jesus Christ, you just took off my security blanket.
I know, yeah.
Like,
Last time I was on the tube over there, actually, some fucking idiot left a backpack on the tube.
Of course he did.
Whole fucking place shut down 2 minutes. Hybrid isn't.
And probably only fucking a loaf of bread inside.
Yeah, it was just somebody lit. There was nothing in there. Was someone just forgot their fucking bag.
Fucking idiot.
Ah, Christ, the panic, like.
That's the thing, of course. Like, I mean, fucking hell.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like the chances of us getting a belt here or something like it's low enough. Like,
Yeah, pretty low.
You know.
No one's bothering with us, like.
And could you see yourself moving back out to the country again?
I've definitely thought about it, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it depends how financially things go for both of us, I suppose. But yeah, I was down in Cork 2 nights ago, and even the city is lovely.
You could do worse, like.
You could do a lot with the city. Was lovely. I'm like, sure, you're in the middle of the city centre there, and you're 20 minutes drive from the woods.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Quite literally, and the sea.
Yeah, and the sea as
the
well.
The best food in the country, by my opinion, like, is in Cork.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Galway we like as well. But I was really taken back by Cork. So who knows, man? Who knows? Inês is she's a naturopathic nutritionist, which is more of a holistic way of doing nutrition.
That's big
basically.
down in Cork, though.
Yeah,
that is big, like, you know, the holistic. Because I hosted a thing out in Ballymaloe.
Oh yeah.
And it was all that.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ, and they were all local enough, like, but they were all strongly established businesses doing well out of there, like, you know.
And there's it's and cost of living is a lot cheaper than here.
Stop. We're up there. We're talking Munich at the minute, like. And the rental price.
It is more expensive than London. It is. At the moment.
It?
Yeah. For a room, yeah.
By Jesus Christ.
Yeah, if you're renting a room, like, it's full up. Now, the thing is, the wages, like, starting out in life in London are worse than they're here.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, so you're getting paid a bit better here. The wages are definitely better here for sure. Like, as a barista starting off, you're making coffee in London. Some cafes will start you on $7.50 like an hour. So in London, like.
By Jesus Christ. Should spend that getting to work.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Are you still living out in Enfield?
No, we switched to the other side. We're gone from out the M4 to out the M11. We're out in County Wicklow now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Is that reason enough? Because you were talking about moving back to Dublin at one stage, really? Or?
We did. We moved to. We were nearly 7 or 8 months back in Radfarnham.
Oh, okay.
And no, couldn't hack it.
Oh, really?
And it even a fine spot. But I couldn't hack it.
You couldn't hack it?
I couldn't, no.
Yeah.
And in fairness, herself couldn't hack it either. She was going, because she had gotten a taste of the countryside.
Yeah.
And that's all she wanted now. Was, she watch the difference. Like, we have a house for what you'd get a fucking room for in Dublin. Like.
Exactly.
And we're in one of the finest, most beautiful parts of the country, in Enniskerry. Like.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Beautiful.
You can see across the fields from us, you can see the waterfall.
Beautiful.
Do you know, like, this shit puts me in a good mood when I walk out in the morning, like, in your job. See cornflakes, like. Do you know, and nobody's looking at me. Only a cow might look in over the ditch.
Oh, that's where you got the milk from.
There you are.
Yeah.
There you are,
Tom.
And that shit puts me in a good mood. I notice I'm not half as angry in traffic now or anything. I'm in a way fucking happier place. Like.
And you, I mean, because that's part of what we have to do anyway, is loads of travelling. So you don't mind the driving.
But the driving doesn't bother me.
It's going to be the same anyway, isn't it?
It's regard. Do you know?
If you're in Dublin or not.
Here, where I am, I can get out on. I'm out on the fucking M50 in under 2 minutes.
Right. Okay.
2 minutes, I'm on the M50, and sure after that, sure, what do you need? Like, you know, it took me 25 minutes to drive in here this evening.
Yeah.
I tell a lie. Sorry, I got the bus in this evening.
Liar.
I'm coming to a distillery, and I figured, fucking, I'm having a drink. But it would normally take me 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
And you are of, not to give away too much about your show.
Oh, don't worry about that.
You have a very interesting fucking upbringing.
I'm.
So you were born in
Tipperary. To a Cork man and an Argentinian woman. And do you know what they were doing in Tipperary at the time?
Go on.
My father was in Bible school.
Where? In Clonmel?
No, Clonmel was the nearest town. It was a place called Colebrook, but I don't know what the nearest village was. Was it Ballintoudis? No, I'm thinking it wrong. Ballinhassig? No, I don't know.
No, that's definitely Cork.
That's Cork, was it? I can't remember the name of the village.
He was in Bible.
So believe it or not, there was a Bible school in the middle of. It honestly was the middle of nowhere in Tipperary. I think it was 20
What religion is based off Bible school? Is it
Good
Baptist?
question. Yeah, good man. Yeah, but
Right.
it wouldn't be far from that.
Yeah.
I'm realizing over the course of writing this show that just like even at the time there wasn't much knowledge about that kind of part of Christianity, I suppose. But even today, people are like, born again Christian, Baptist, what? What's fucking?
Yeah.
So a lot of people still wouldn't have a clue. It's just basically a more liberal. The more liberal Protestants, basically. Boo. But
was it? He would have been raised Catholic, surely.
Oh yeah,
and
he was.
Your mother was probably raised Catholic too.
Yeah, my mother was raised Catholic up until the point that her mother became born again Christian, and but I don't know. I don't know if that was before my mom or not.
Right.
My mom became a Christian. I don't know, as they say. My father was from strict Catholic background. Like we're talking, this is down in Cove where he grew up, and they were talking like 6 o'clock, 9 kids down to do the rosary, like that.
Right.
That strict.
Yeah.
And he was an altar boy and all that kind of crack. And he followed in his father's footsteps and his grandfather's footsteps, joining the Merchant Navy.
So many Cove lads joined the Merchant Navy.
Did they?
Yeah, so many Cove lads did. Like.
And he went away and he met a guy from Glasgow, of all places, who was a Christian, and he became a born again Christian. And he took it upon himself then how he met my mum. This is crazy. They met on this ship that travels the world spreading the good news, basically, where they lived on. My mum lived on the ship for 3 years. Yeah. Literally.
A cruise ship of...
It's not even that big as a cruise ship, but like you'd want your money back from that cruise. You know?
Fucking right, where's the free bar?
No free bar. No, the entertainment was a bit samey.
All you can eat prayers.
Yeah. It was... So my dad, after he finished his exams, he qualified as a navigator. He joined the ship because he could help the run and all that. My mum was in the singing group on the ship.
Fantastic.
And, it's very rock and roll, Tom. and
I just imagine this Argentinian woman like just rocking on a boat like.
Who is this man? This Irish boy. How's it going there, girl? My mum's memory of him on the ship was that he had
crossover. Crossover of accents there.
Like. My mum's memory of him is that his head was so fat that he used to have to cut the back of the cap a little slit so it would fit on top of him properly. He had a fat head.
But you have a skinny head. Like, did you get her head?
No, well, it's kind of. I think it's more the oval shape.
Okay,
a bit of an egghead. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he joined the ship. They fell in love. They got married in Argentina. They lived there for a year, and he decided that he wanted to train to become a pastor, basically a church leader himself, and that's why he went back to Ireland. And myself to Tipperary. He was studying to become a preacher, basically. Myself and my brother were born in Tipperary. And then he got his first job in the Cork Baptist Church, and that's where my sister was born. And then he got his second job where he was sent by the Cork Baptist Church out to Middleton in East Cork to start a church, basically. And that's where we grew up, but we lived in the fucking roughest council estate ever because Jesus doesn't pay that well. And,
you weren't next to the Crystal Swing family, were you?
No, they weren't far from us. They were in Listowel, weren't they? Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah, but that's kind of what the show that I'm doing, Dublin Fringe, is kind of about, because all my mates in the street are like, I'm talking like rough as fuck. Like my girlfriends there, like they were having kids at 14 and 15 years of age. And like.
I didn't think Middleton.
It's just this one estate.
Yeah.
It's this
Every town has one. Every town has one.
And then after we moved there, apparently this other estate became the rough one, and then.
Do you think maybe
what?
you were the rough one?
Oh,
like it cleaned up its act as soon as you fucked off.
As soon as the Jesus heads fucked off, the Jesus freaks fucked off, then we can all calm down. Right?
Stop being scumbags, basically.
Yeah. But like if they keep talking to us about Jesus, we have to write everything now. Yeah, it was full on. So the show was about how like I became out in the street, essentially out in the estate. You know, I wasn't going around fucking being the Jesus boy. Like I had to fit in with the lads. Of course, so I was getting in with all drinking and smoking and riding.
What way were you? Like, was it strict upbringing then?
At that time, yeah, very strict, man. Like, I mean, like now it's different. I'm not married. I've got a kid. You know, that's all fine.
Are they okay with that?
Oh yeah. Like they're way more liberal than they used to be. I think my father would look back and go, he was under pressure by the organisation that he worked for to do things his way and to do the things that they...
Which, by the way, is a big thing with even priests.
Yeah.
Like, I know 2 priests who would love to do their own thing, almost Lutheran style.
Yes, yeah.
Relax the fuck.
Yeah.
Give me a wife. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
But, like, one particular guy, he was on the verge of quitting.
Right.
And then the parish was going to get no priest.
Right.
And he went, I can't fucking do this. Like this poor, like he's covering 2 or 3 parishes, like, and you'd be slagging these people off or whatever, but the likes of him, he's always been a good bloke for the area.
Yeah.
But like he's gone out to fucking accidents, so fellas' heads are hanging off, like, and he's got to fucking give him the last rites and shit, and then turn around and talk to you about your wedding. 2 minutes later, you know. Yeah. You know, and then
the pay's not great there either.
Nah, it's not at all. Like, yeah, you're living rent free or whatever.
What kind of an age is he?
Maybe early 60s.
Right.
But he's
even now thinking of quitting.
No, he's not now.
Right, okay.
It was maybe 10 years ago.
Right,
He was thinking, you know what, I could fucking... Because he'd studied something in college, you know what I mean? He'd go, fuck, you know what, I could get into that. Like, a family business was on the go. I don't know what it was, but it was like... But... Because I'm just sick of the red tape and fucking lads, what would you fucking just upgrade? You know what I mean? Upgrade. You gotta upgrade, like, you know what I mean? Which is... It sounds like your father did upgrade. Like.
I think even when he started doing what he was doing in the church, in his perception, I suppose he was an upgrade because he was a married man. He had kids. You know what I mean? He was an upgrade to what he was brought up from the Catholic church that he came from. Oh, my grandfather did never for he passed away there now 10 years ago now, but for the whole of my dad became a born preacher in '88. My grandfather passed away in 2008, and in that time he never spoke to him about his work. Never spoke to him about his work.
Fair enough. Yeah, okay. So he didn't.
So he didn't excommunicate, but his brother, my dad's uncle, sent him a letter saying, "Stay away from my family," blah blah blah, and all this kind of stuff. So and that kind of crap still going on.
It's hilarious that all it is an abbreviation of the same thing. Like,
yeah. So some people didn't take that, and like in the estate in Cork as well, it was like, "Fuck off! You're telling us about Jesus and all this and blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And fair enough, at the time, like it was the 90s, the country was like, fuck the church, fuck religion, good luck.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the wrong time to go, I've got this new one over here.
I mean, you can't blame him for enterprising. Because at the same time, if you saw one fucking business failing, you go, I've got a better one.
Yeah. Here's my pitch. You can ride. It's legal.
I suppose on the other side, I mean, a lot of people cast that religion handy enough because it's like they just don't want to get out of bed on a Sunday morning too.
Yeah,
you know
it's true.
Like,
true.
It's
hungover.
You know.
Because my mom talks about how preaching on a Sunday morning was tough for my dad as well sometimes. You know, she'd catch people doing their shopping lists while he's up there. I mean, it's not that tough. He doesn't have to get laughs, but you know.
Yeah, right enough. Yeah. Relax, Dad. You have to. They'll show up regardless, like.
Yeah.
But I love when a table moves across like that. It's great. It really adds to it.
To the atmosphere, to the ambience.
And I cannot let you go without giving me a quick impression. Does your mother really speak like, or did she at least?
Oh no, she still does. I always say
she gained her any Cork accent.
She still doesn't understand certain curse words, right? She doesn't understand like curses in our language. She's just chosen not to. I don't know. Well, because it was so clean living and all that kind of stuff. So you could be saying to her, "Ma'am, I'm just going down to Fresh to get a bag of bollocks." If you don't mind, okay, be safe, okay. Do you know what I mean? She hasn't a clue. But and she mixes up expressions all the time. She says like, you know, I am emotional, you know, I'm Latina, I wear my sleeve on my shoulder. It's like, that doesn't make fucking sense. She still sings all the Christian songs, right?
Does she?
Yeah.
What, around the kitchen?
But to my daughter, like, she doesn't mean like She's not trying to convert her to my daughter or anything.
They're not
It's
the
just
heavy
all the songs that she used to sing to us when we were kids. So one of the songs is like, if I was a bird in a tree, I thank you, Lord, for loving me. And if I was a fish in the sea, I thank you, Lord, for letting me be free, or whatever. So she's singing this to my daughter, but she's fucking in her Latina accent going, if I was a fish in a tree. And it's like, the fish can't be in the tree, man. It'd be fucking... And my daughters look staring at her
It's been
going,
the apocalypse.
"What?"
There's fish in the tree. Quite literally, the seven horsemen, or the four horsemen are coming.
Jesus, yeah. So she's... And definitely, that's where the comedy comes from in me. Like, she's a character. She can do impersonation, like a Latina woman doing impersonation of Dublin drug users is fucking amazing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, or Dublin waitress. She goes, what does he say? Come to you at the table in a restaurant and say, is that a right fire? Yes. What's that?
So, I'm going to want to meet your mother now.
Oh, she's an absolute character.
That's
because
you have this impression of Latina people like they're fiery as fuck, like, and they do wear their emotions on their sleeve.
Their highs are high and the lows are low. Like, I even have that with my missus now. Like, sometimes
of course, she's Portuguese. Yeah. Does she get on with your mother?
Oh, very well. Yeah, because Ina speaks fluent Spanish as well. So so they speak Spanish to each other and they get on very well. Especially, I think, because of the way that the Latin languages, Portuguese and Spanish, are structured with masculine and feminine and all that. It's actually quite easier, and it's complicated in English, so they say things the wrong way around all the time. So they're like sisters in arms about that stuff. Like, they're all mixed up stuff.
Do you think there's kind of an understanding? You know, like my wife and her mother, they will talk fucking what I can only describe as gibberish. But they've had a full blown technical talk through of what's happening. And I go. But, like, to give you an example, my wife one day reading a book. She was reading a book, I remember, about the Guinnesses, and she said something about, there's a great film I want to watch. I went, oh, really? And this, I knew by the way she was looking at me that most of her brain was still in the book.
Yeah.
She went, it's got your man. What's his name? And I went, well, where the fuck are we going with this?
Yeah.
She goes, fuck it. Jesus, fucking Rashers. I'm like... Rashers. Fry. Stephen Fry. No. He looks like your man fucking Eagle or something with a pointy face.
Oh my God.
Ethan Hawke. Yeah, looks like him. Fry. Ethan. Is it Kevin Bacon?
Oh my
She
God.
went, that's the lad.
Rashers.
Her mother, she goes, my mother would have made that jump.
Right.
So that's how she describes it to me.
My mother and she would have gone Kevin Bacon.
She would have jumped all the way around the houses and back into Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Not about it.
There's definitely another language, and it's not Spanish, that's going on there. Yeah. They seem to understand each other.
I'm wondering but they don't bother with the fuckology of talking all the way around. They can just go shorthand.
We're very logical, though, aren't we? I think mainly we think it's like, why did you say that? Why does it make sense? Shut up, you dope.
Yeah. Oh, there definitely is, and that's what this play is that I'm doing.
Right.
Is that, yes, men may be perceived as assholes by women, but we're not really. We're just different.
Yeah.
And
simple.
Simple. But women can be simple too in their own way, and it's very, very funny how your man has structured it, that you can compare the two and look at it, just be sound about it. Let's be sound to each other, kind of a thing. Like,
apples and oranges, yeah.
But it's because it does intrigue me that just when I hear of like people who are essentially country people, like you were born in Tip, brought up in Cork, married to a Portuguese one, and your mother happened to be from Argentina.
Yeah.
Just, I always find that kind of like, what was your mother thinking in fucking Tipperary? Like?
In Tipperary, because I was probably too young to remember Tipperary, but I remember...
both Argentina and Tipperary, and an agricultural stronghold.
Yeah.
That's where
but she's from Buenos Aires, like, she's from El Capital, like, so millions of people living in skyscrapers and all that. And I remember she struggled with, like, she's her big thing that she says, when I first came to this country, I go to your mother's house for for dinner, and what do we have? Boiled everything.
Yeah.
So that's what Latinos is like: boiled potatoes, boiled cabbage, boiled like cook something. Come on, you know what I mean?
I know.
You couldn't get pasta on the shelves when I came here. That's her big thing, you couldn't get pasta, So I mean, even down to the food, like, it was.
Yeah, I get that though. I do get it, like, because like we can be. Like, we were so good, and it has to be. I'd love to talk to somebody like a culinary historian or something. Go, why did our food end up being so bland? Because we're quite colourful people.
Yeah.
Is it the fact
that is interesting?
Do you know?
Question.
And I bet you, because we created the fucking Book of Kells.
Yeah.
And then we were the literary fucking giants of Europe.
Yeah.
We brought it back after the Romans, fucking the vacuum of the Romans, and then all of a sudden now we have fucking violent spuds and
Yeah,
boil
that's
the
true.
fuck out of everything, like, and
I suppose it's always to do with the weather, is it? And what the land gives you. And
I suppose,
there's
but
no
I mean,
spice, or there's no.
right enough, but at the same time, I mean, you could rub a couple of nettles together and fucking
Yeah, yeah.
barbecue something.
That's true.
You could
Yeah.
have barbecued something.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, I think we were barbecuing earlier on. I think we lost something. We
Yeah.
lost something through, I think, probably the
Maybe the
repression.
famine.
I would imagine the famine and
Yeah.
the repression, like.
Yeah.
Because they do reckon like that. Like, if you look at a lot of people that live on the southwest of Ireland, like in Kerry,
Yeah.
and parts of Clare and parts of Cork, you will see lads with sallow skin. Look at the Kerry football team.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know sallow skin,
Lovely.
6'1",
Lovely colour, yeah.
fucking curly black hair,
Yeah, yeah.
strong big noses on them. You're going,
Yeah.
hold on now, one
Hold on a
second.
second.
I'm no anthropologist here.
I know
like,
you're from Carsavine, but...
but where's this fucking... So,
what you call your man with the fashion guy as well? Like, he was proper Latina looking.
what's his name? Tall.
Paul Galvin.
Paul Galvin,
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
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 Man wearing skinny jeans. He had no business wearing skinny jeans.
He
that
did
man.
not.
Athletic fucking build.
Too much information.
Yeah, way too much. Oh, yeah, I see what you had for lunch there, Paul.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Jesus Christ, just the idea of it, because it's almost an embarrassment. It's like, no, we're grand. Like, I know we're a bit on the boring side, but your mother, like it's even when I think it's funny. It's great, that Latino accent, when a woman has it, but sometimes I find it a little camp when men have it.
Oh, yeah.
It can be a little on the camp
Like
side, can't it?
Fez from that 70s show. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Where's my toast? You know? Don't tell me toast. Yeah, that's true, yeah.
There's a campiness to
Yeah,
it.
for
like.
sure, yeah.
Well, maybe that's where camp guys learn.
Maybe, yeah. Okay.
You know, because if you look at those
Camp.
those Argentinian gauchos, those motherfuckers are some of the toughest bastards going.
Ooh,
man.
yeah.
Do you know?
I got a bus from north, where was it? From Mendoza, the wine region.
Yes,
in the northwest of the country, down towards Patagonia, which is, it's an overnight bus thing. Do you know what I mean? So you'd be going through like these roads that there is nothing for miles, and next thing you see this lad on a horse come by.
Just not about it.
Not about it.
And
Yeah,
you know that
on his
fella hasn't
own.
drank anything in days.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
they're
getting sound
testing
check.
up here.
1 2 1 2.
So do you know what? Before it fucking starts, because I reckon we'll
kicks
start
off, don't
letting
it?
people in here now.
We've got
in a
to drink
second.
whiskey.
We've got to drink something anyway. Let's fucking properly stick a pin in it. And now, where and when is your show in the French kicking off? Get
Dublin Fringe Festival. Son of a Preacher Man is the name of my show. It's going to be on the Workman's Club from the 17th till the 22nd. So it's next Monday, or whenever.
This is going out tomorrow morning.
It's going out tomorrow Monday, yeah. So next Monday till the following Saturday in the Workman's Club. And grab your tickets. There's a couple of nights it's sold out,
Yeah,
actually.
I'm going to go.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah,
I'm going to go along. I'll probably go along on... You said you're there. Are you there Friday as well?
Monday through to Saturday, yeah.
Right. I'm going to go to the Saturday show if I can get a ticket.
Fair play, yeah.
And it'll be too late to Instagram about it then, but I'll repost everything, and I'll put the link in the description of this and all the links to follow. Give just a follow as well, so throw us on. What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is Stephen J. Mullan, so Stephen is STEPHENJ.
Bit proddy.
J. Is it? I thought prods of the V, no?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Fuck,
the English of the V,
your pardon.
take that back. I mean, I am a Protestant extremist, technically, but... Steve.
A fundamental
Yeah.
Protestant.
Stephen J. And Mullan is MULLAN, because everyone does the EN, but I'm A for some reason. But there you are.
Powerful stuff. Thanks very much, Stephen. Bye.
Thanks for having me on. Bye.
Cheers.
Whoa, well, thank you very much. There you go, the fantastic Stephen Mullan there. Like I said, his show is the 17th to the 22nd in the Workman's Club from 8 p.m. all next week. If you're in the Dublin area, get to it. You heard how fucking funny that is. Like, he's a funny motherfucker, like, and just a great story. So thank you very much to Stephen. We've a right busy week of guests next week, so yeah, loads more coming. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. You can follow me on all social platforms at Tom O'Mahony Comedy. You can catch me anywhere really, from Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. If you're on the old chatty snaps, which I'm not fucking using that much these days, you know what I mean? Because it's just a lot. It's just a lot to be doing. And I was only kind of using it for the filters, and the filters are shite. They used to be class ones of all old lads and fellas with wigs and stuff like that. Now it's just fucking bunny ears and fucking butterflies on your head. Fuck that. But I'm still on it. If you want to send me a message and it's your thing, absolutely send me a message. I missed a few of them last week, and it was people coming to see shows and stuff and wanted to meet me, and I fucking missed it. So you'll definitely catch me on Instagram if you want to send me a message. I know that. Because Chatty Snaps doesn't seem to be telling me stuff. Like, even though I've updated the fucker, it doesn't seem to be telling me. But if it's your bag, continue with it. Like I said, follow me on all others on Tom O'Mahony Comedy, Tom Bear O'Mahony. You'll find me on Chatty Snaps. If you want any gig updates, because people to be asking about gigs, just go straight to tomomahony.com/gigs and you'll find all of them there. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, which a lot of you are, because you'd be sending me the snapshots and all the rest of it, the screen grabs, rate it, give it a rating, slap on the 5 stars there, lads, you may as well, won't cost you a fucking penny. And would you write us an old fucking review as well, because they all help, all them fucking things help. Write us an old review, hit us a rate, and like that, have a gander at the Patreon. If you fancy fucking buying me a cup of coffee or an old pint, throw it towards the Patreon. It'll help the podcast go forward, lads. Now, enjoy the weekend. Take me loads of silly fucking pictures. And I'll chat to you on Tuesday. Good luck.